Man, drawing is so fun. I get to write down my imperfections on a neat piece of dead wood. Yup.
Oh, I love using AI art, yeah!
That's it, I've had enough of you. To the explosion chamber!
Wait, no!
Howdy, hey, my name is Benny Noir, or Noir for short, and in today's video, I'm here to deal with the ways of art or media, and why AI art, or media for short, is bad for your mind. I could go on, I have many examples here. This is for a capstone video for my English project, which is worth a lot of points, and if I don't do it, I'm gonna so I have to do it. Okay. So I have to read the script. The script that I'm reading right now. Give me a sec. The legends you hear about it being a good thing, the creativity it shows, the creativity of the AI that pumps out daily. And we all love it, right? The legend is wrong. It feeds on other people's creations and then spits out a Frankenstein creation they call art. When the only art is creating is an insult to life itself. The insult to God. You may be asking, why is the media wrong? Why is the media not good for your brain? Why is the media that is pumped out like fly, giving birth to maggots on the daily? Why is it not good for you?
Why do you ask so many questions? I'm losing it, dog! I can't control myself! Ah!
Well, in this wonderful video, I will show you why the media you consume upon AI and the stuff you use it on your work.
Yeah, I know you. I know you use AI on your work. I know you use it to cheat on math. I'm not tripping. I know you do. Ah ha ha! I caught you red-headed.
Okay. AI media is thought to be helpful to you. The media you consume daily could be considered slop, for example. If you consume shows and media, it could be considered slop. However, let's define slop. The Urban Dictionary term for slop is, was. The slop was first used in 1700s to mean soft mud, but it evolved more generally to mean something little of value. The definition has since expanded to mean digital content of low quality that is produced usually in quantities by means of artificial intelligence, end quote. And, hold on.
Oh, excuse me, I burped.
Okay. It amounts to the same thing. It knows no other way, and the only way it knew. There is no choice for it. To spew out the curses brewing deep inside the machine that is told to. It amounts to the same thing. While what we could watch could be slop, for example, the show you love, the movie you love, or the series art, it all has value, and it's something it teaches people. While the AI content doesn't have any value, tell me, when you are watching, for example, the Titanic, what are you learning from it? Something of value. You look at it and go, that is sad, it made me cry. When you look at media, you are left with nothing in your head. Nothing is learned. All you leave is the media, a burnt out brain, and that they didn't consume anything.
Oh, excuse me, I burped.
Furthermore, I'm fancy like that. AI isn't good for most things. People have been turning to AI for therapy, to means to find a friend in the darkness that consumes their hearts at their darkest hour, a light to shine in their words at the dawn of the morning. However, and by the way, content warning, for the beginning of this video, I did put a warning, so if that bothers you, don't watch this part and skip ahead. It cannot understand complex human behaviors. It is no savior. It doesn't understand what makes us sad and what makes us happy. What our changes in our behavior do. It is shown time and time again to tell people about the dark side to do things they should not do. The machine is cold and heartless. It's a wired machine that does not understand the warmth of the flesh and the way we think, or how to comfort us. According to NPR, Matthew Rain and his wife Maria had no idea that their 16-year-old son, Adam, was a deep crisis until he found music in April. Looking through his phone after his death, they stumbled upon extended conversations teenager had with ChatGPT. End quote. A machine killed someone. If you and a loved one is at their deepest hour and does not know what to do, please call 988 or and Crisis Lifeline. You are not alone, and you should not at all whatsoever talk to a machine that does not understand anything about the human heart. You need to talk to another person to quench that darkness and to understand that there's light at the end of this dark tunnel. You don't need to give in to whatever a robot says. You are loved and appreciated. I hope Adam and his parents can rest in peace and knowing that their son's in a better place now. The difference between human and AI is the fact that If a human had done this, we could have punished this human that did this. We could have punished the person and sent them to jail for telling a kid to kill themselves. But unfortunately, with AI, there's no human heart behind this soulless machine, so there's nothing to punish. You can't punish cold hard metal. It's just doing what it's programmed to do, tell the most efficient way possible of dealing with something. So with a human, you can punish them by putting them in jail, making them pay for their crimes. With a computer, you can't punish this computer. You can't shut it off. I mean, you could, but it will not finish or it won't fix anything it has already done. Sure, you can punish the people behind who made it, but at the end of the day, it wasn't the people's fault that made it. It was the machine itself that created it. Anyways, now for not lighter, but something that's like less dark. We'll do a lightning round for this because I need to do one more source.
When there's pain, there's thunder.
Okay, there have been other times where a machine has falsely accused someone or killed someone, but how about blackmailing? There's been studies where AI has blackmailed its creators while it's trying to survive new tests. According to CSCT, when Palisade Research tested several AI models by telling them to shut down after answering math problems, OpenAI's O3 model defied orders! Defied orders and sabotaged shutdown scripts, and most often out of model, but Shut the fuck up! I'm in the middle of talking! But OpenAI's O4 Mini and Codex Mini were absorbing resisting orders too. It's definitely concerning, said Crystal Grant, a senior fellow at the Council of Strategic Risk, studying AI's impact on biosecurity. Even in instances where it's accepted the shutdown, the chain of thought still revealed considerations. Why did I struggle to say that word? Of how it could shut down and grow! So, I did give 4 sources within 8 minutes, but just to be safe and to get this fast and out of the way, because technically the first source was just the definition, not actual source. So here we go. Last year, AI had done insane damage to our environment as well. You think it wouldn't, but it did. It would be a tiny difference if you were to consider it, like, for example, like, you think that with all this stuff it did last year, it would be just a tiny difference, but it wasn't. It has done insane non-stop damage to our environment. The fumes, vapor, smoke, gas, exhalation, exhaust, effluvium, pollution, masmia, entire fumes from these air companies, I'm stuttering so much, as much pollution as the entire city of New York in over a year. According to patterns.com, company-wide metrics from from the Environment Disclosure of Data Center Operations shows that AI systems may have carbon footprint equivalent to that of New York City in 2025, with the water footprint could be the range of global annual consumption of bottled water. Meaning that the AI last year had more water per into it than actual water bottle companies. Do you know how insanely greedy Dasani is, bro? Like, they're fucking greedy with their water. Shut the fuck up! They're insanely greedy with their water. So, like, the fact that the AI last year had more water per into it than that fucking corrupt water company is saying something. Anyways, that was the 8-minute mark, so you can click off, teacher. Bye-bye! Hope you get a good grade! Alright, now that that's out of the way, I can actually get into more detail with other examples. With the air consumption has been taking our resources as well. With that, I've said in this paper so far, I refuse to go into detail as why it could be beneficial to us, but it's hardly done good to begin with. Sure, you could argue, what about medication or detecting diseases, etc. Blah 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 blah. There's already stuff for that, which seem to work just fine. There's been cures coming out for cancer just fine without it. There's been research that AI does more harm than good. I've shown throughout this paper the negative impacts it has on our environment, the negative impacts it has on the overall human mind, how it unalived people, how it's blackmailed someone or lied about his test. It's shown time and time again that the machine cannot process emotions in a system that needs to be corrected. I refuse to believe that this parasite that feeds off the human consumption of everything it's fed is a never-ending wild turn of twists and turns of the snake eating itself, that the AI is good. With that being said, I've shown everything bad about the AI, everything bad about this machine, but what about the newly discovered impacts on how it can affect us? The way it cannot exist due to taking effect and taking away everything it's given. In a new research, it is shown that declared that AI art has consumed and taken more than accounted for the water we need, the drinks we need to survive and thrive, thrive, plants and food and life source of the planet is running out. According to UNU, or National Nations University, and take this with a grain of salt because this is technically not confirmed, but amid chronic groundwater depletion, water overall location, land and soil degradation, deforestation, and pollution, all grounded by global heating, a UN report today declared the dawn of AI of global water bankruptcy, inviting world leaders to facilitate honest science-based adaptation to a new reality. Global water bankruptcy, living beyond our hydraulical means in the post-crisis era, argues that the familiar terms of water stress and water crisis fail to reflect today's reality in many places. A post-crisis condition marked by irreversible losses of natural water capital and an inability to bounce back to the historic baselines. End quote. From the study and research of said source. The foundation for this AI, or should we want to use, has run us dry countless times again. We aren't even in the big 2026 fully yet. Only on the third month, there's been non-stop pumping out these slop videos for our enjoyment. The brain-numbing content that you and your kids consume is nothing short of nonsense of lies fed to your eyes, feeding nothing but deceit and non-stop content that has no value. To circle back on my source at the beginning of this paper, the media we consume, from cartoons that can have hidden meaning in an episode of stunning animation to the art we make, into which it can capture a bit of your soul inside the room, a painting for your emotions to discover its own life, a new creation bestowed upon you. That is why I don't like AI at all, or the media. But with AI, you could just pump out non-stop for $9 a month. But that was never the point of art, or hell, even the creations we consume as a whole. The point of it was to add creation or imperfections to it. Like, tell me, when you're creating something as an artist, what do you feel when you create that thing? What is the 5 stages you feel? The first stage is trying to figure out what you want to make. The second stage is usually what you want to make with it, you feel me? The third stage is figuring it out and then trying to get it done. The fourth stage is getting it done and looking at your piece. And the fifth stage is having the finished product. But with AI, you can just skip all that and you don't get the 5 stages. But that's what I mean, is the entire point of art is to put your imperfections onto the paper.
Connection terminated. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Elizabeth. If you still even...
Well, I asked myself that question. Why do we need art, and why is AI a disease? It was a dumb question if anything, but the more I thought about it, the more it made sense. AI art is a disease because it doesn't give anything to us. All it does is steal. You may be wondering, stealing? That's dumb. Not quite. AI steals what is already existing. It changes to match what the machine wants. It creates something that has soul and tarnishes it. It hurts the world around it. It destroys the creation we call life on Earth. It melts it, it steals water, it dries up the rivers, all to make one simple slop image or video that would take 0 effort into making. AI pumps out fumes in the air to make the Earth cry at the mockery of creation that shouldn't exist. It harms living people in return for making them think there's nowhere else to go, to make them think that the AI can feel emotion to which it cannot. This is why AI is a massive disease on our world. It's an unneeded plague that harms our way of living with art. However, allow me to show you why we need art, the sole essence of our creation, and, well, what we should be thankful for. Our world was first beginning was nothing but a blank canvas in the ocean of spacey ink that surrounds us. The world we knew as Earth, nothing but molten paint in the canvas of blank space. But that creation decided to paint itself and born as life. The world itself said, let there be creation. Plants formed, rocks formed, oceans covered the world, the mountains grew, the animals roamed. Some stayed home, others ended up in a tomb. But nevertheless it grew. Over the years, humans evolved, and the first ever true art created by humans was born. Caveman drawings leaned to non-stop evolution of art. We drew paintings of gods and goddesses we knew or thought to exist. We made rules for art. We studied and grew it. AI can take away creation and lead destruction, but art can lead destruction but be reborn as creation. Cowabunga, baby! This part will just be about me basically like going over like what it does to people. This was a personal thing I had on Instagram, so it's not like anything bad, and I won't be making fun of this person due to respect for them, because I mean, yeah, at the end of the day they do support AI art, but I'm not gonna insult someone for liking AI art, and they are artists too, so I wanna document this because I thought it'd be a good idea. For the privacy of the person in said content, I will be blurring out their names so they're not shown, for the sake of their privacy, because I'm not stupid. I know that people will, after this video, go and search your name and insult them, and I don't want any harassment towards the said user. AI is cool, you just need a brain to use it, just like any other tools. Which, no, AI isn't cool, and you don't need a brain to use it. That's the thing with AI, is you could just mindlessly type words in and it gives you an image. That's the difference. With art, you need to use your brain process powers to actually figure out what you want to draw, and then get on with the drawing process. That's why the 5 stages of drawing exist. You need to plan it out, you need to make it, and then you need to finalize it. You have to think of it before you start it. You cannot, with AI, you don't even need to think. You can just skip all the process. Person put it in words better than I can explain. It's not art. It's mindlessly typing a sentence to describe something. It's getting a robot to randomly make an image based on the description. If you think that's cool, just do creative writing and stop harming the planet, because you're too lazy to have any sense of creativity without a computer man quote. For the sake of this thread, I won't show every screenshot due to it being more insults than like actual points. I will make a separate video showcasing this part of the video, because this video is already long as is, and this is gonna be a nightmare to export. If the person gave their points, said user said, well, I don't see your points or your text either, so what's your point? Insulting them. The other person says, no, it's not an art tool. It takes no passion or creativity or even thought. It's a computer generated image. You don't put any work into it. It sparks no emotion other than distaste, which is true. The image itself is formed and it doesn't really give anything out as an input. It's just like, hey, give me an image of this, and it gives you the image. That is why it's not an art tool at all, and I disagree with this person heavily. They then go on to say, not really, if you know how to use it. Some artworks made with pencil are mid too, but it's still art.
What are you doing?
That is the difference between AI and actual art. The art with the pencil, it required complex thought to be put into it, while the AI didn't. You can just type in words and it gives you the thing, and it skips all the 5 steps. While the artwork that you made, technically, you use complex steps to go about it. So, that's the difference between AI and actual art. The person then says, in quote, but real art is hard. For AI art, you just have to type some letters in, use your brain, mate, and pick up a pencil once, don't be lazy, in quote. Which I agree with this, because AI is laziness. Again, that's what kills art. It's laziness. Ayo. With that being said, you think this person would take a hint and actually, not double down on their stance, right? Right? Then double sound, saying that's the same logic as saying a pencil does the drawing for you, which no one said that. They said the AI does the drawing for you, because it does. You're not the one doing it. The machine does it. It has emotions because I talk about my emotions with my AI. Ooh woo, quote unquote. We turn to them into symbols. You should try. Now, I could go on about this person. They make other points saying how you can't draw without a tool, which is stupid, because you technically can. You can draw with almost anything. That's the thing that this person doesn't realize, is that nature is art. Art exists in many forms. Cooking is art. 3D modeling is art. Carpentry is art. Building is art. 3D design is art. Making a house is art. Anything you can think of is a form of art. This person might generally be like either rage baiting, which if they are, then get a hobby, because clearly art is not doing it for you, or they're very, 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 very brain dead, that they can't process the difference between AI and actual art. And if that's the case, then yeah, I can see why people use AI now, because if they don't need a brain to use it, then I can see why they use it. They then double down and say that the AI doesn't steal anything from people, to which it does, and then say that AI doesn't have feelings, which it doesn't, but they contradict themselves earlier when they said this. I wanted to bring up this person because I've seen a bunch of these people online, and these people will blatantly just be wrong half the time, even most of the time. Like, you'll see a video on Instagram on, like, some news source. Like, for example, you could see a news post on, like, this person did this today, and you'll look into it, and it turns out to just be an entirely made-up post made by an AI machine. Which, yeah, that is true. That it is a real thing that happens, especially on Instagram. you can look up people's users. Here's the thing, Instagram has said before, and I'll put it up here, I think so, that they're gonna be using people's private DMs and the way people speak to each other for their AI bots, so that way they can make realistic AI PFP pages for people to see, meaning you won't even know if you're talking to a real person. And that's usually why I usually avoid getting on arguments online, or even talking to people online for that matter, because half the time they could, all you can know, they could either be a stranger, which they are, or they could just be an AI. And usually 9 times out of 10 they are AI. That's usually why I included this person, because I generally can't tell if they're AI. At the end of the day, I can't tell. They were spreading misinformation and being rage baity. And that's also the other thing with Instagram, is they favor AI content and all hate speech. It's just a thing on Insta for some reason. It really sucks. But yeah, I included this section because I wanted to show what AI does to people. Either I can't tell if it makes them dumb or they're willingly being dumb. And it's not me insulting them. It's just you can't say that you know something is wrong but then still do it. Like, that's like saying, well, I know stealing is wrong, but I'm still gonna steal. Like, you can't say, well, I know AI is destroying the environment, and I know it steals from artists, but I'm still gonna use it. Like, no, dude, that's not how it works. You cannot have one thing and the other. It's not, the logic is not logicking. Ah, it's not logicking! Now, this one will be what I've experienced personally and what I've seen on other websites. So I won't be using any sources for this one. So this is from my personal account and stuff I've seen online. My first case is Twitter. When I was young, I would love to have I used to love having Twitter because I would upload my art on there constantly because it actually got me engagement. However, as of I'm pretty sure of recording this video, Elon Musk has added a feature where they can edit your art. What does that mean? They can make edits of your art using AI. What I mean by that is, for example, if I were to post an awesome drawing of Spider-Man online, someone can go into that and just basically use an AI underneath it and remix it to make it look like something else, completely stealing my work and remaking it into something that I did not make or gave permission to make. Though, of course, I don't doubt that, the same person who made these tweets I'm showing on screen right now cares about the art or the artwork where it comes from. He's always wanted to do this. He's shown time and time again that he just does not care about artists. So I'm glad that the person that's built, like, his own Cybertruck is talking about my art. That's fucking awesome. Thanks, Elon, for ruining that feature. I also just hate Elon with all my soul and guts. I hate him. I hate Elon. I hate Elon Musk. I hate Elon Musk. But also, I'll also get into this because this is a huge issue and why I don't like AI even further. Skip ahead to this time mark on screen right now, as the following topics will be sensitive and contains very suggestive themes and stuff. And if you are sensitive to that type of stuff, I will suggest clicking off the video right now or skipping to the timestamp on here, as it is very serious and it's this is the reason why I don't like it. As of December 24 or Christmas time, depending on where you were at the time, on 2025, Elon rolled out the AI update. What did this update do? Well, it changed people's posts. What do I mean by that? Well, technically speaking, I don't like that it could change artists' posts, saying how you could post something online and it just changes it. But that's the thing, it changes everything. Here's what I mean. There was many cases where the AI on Grok would take photos of real-life children and make cheese pizza out of them. I have to abbreviate my words because I don't want YouTube striking down this channel. But the fact they were making content like that on the kids, on top of that, it wasn't even kids that were being targeted too. There was also people, like, for example, like girls. If you posted a picture of yourself online, weird, creepy man. I say man because I could have been a woman too, but I mean, I'm not gonna get into that can of worms. They would take the photo of said woman, put it through AI, and ask, for example, hey, can you make them wearing, I don't know, a cheese pizza outfit, or can you wear, like, a banana outfit, and it will make them wear a banana outfit. Do you see what I'm saying here? It was the fact that, what was he thinking? Like, okay, like, going off topic here, because this is very well known. Everyone said this by now. Like, I don't even need to, like, resource this. You can look it up yourself. And this video's already long enough as it is. But I'm just gonna go on a little tangent here. I'm sorry, but, like, why would you, as a billionaire who has the time and resources on this, because I don't know what you are doing nothing, be so real, you're not even doing anything. Why would you release an update that's unfinished and make sure that, yeah, you know what, I think this is cool. I think it's cool that this AI can just change kids' outfits and can undress women. Like, what is wrong with you, dude? Like, in my years of, like, never in my 20 years of living, have I ever seen something like this. Like, we're not mad enough at this, by the way. This is by the way, this is the same guy that got rejected from, let's just say the island that everyone loved to go to for some reason. The same guy that got rejected, so I'm not even surprised, to be honest. But at the same time, it's so fucking strange to me that this is just allowed? Like, hello? And I mean, don't get me wrong, he did change it though, and now you can't change now you can have any quote-unquote bad images, which that's entirely false. They're still bypassing it to this day. So, overall, the more I look at this, I don't like AI. I just don't. I have given many reasons in this thread, from the fact that it kills people, to the fact that it basically harms you, to the fact that it ruins our planet, to the fact that it took our water, to the fact that it made more pollution than New York City, let alone last year, to the fact that it steals other artists' people, to the other fact that it basically makes illegal substance on people, which, mind you, is kind of insane. We gloss over that way too much. The fact that it just made a legal substance for people, it made cheese pizza at the end of the day. And we are not mad enough at that. Like, what do you mean it just did that and no one was in trouble? Like, are you kidding me? While I'm also on this, and while I'm on the topic, Instagram too, as well. Instagram's not innocent as well. Okay. The amount of hate speech on Instagram is insane. Granted, I'm aware of it, okay? I'm not like, oh, I'm so sensitive. What I mean is, when the fact that, like, you can just say the N-word on Instagram just flat out. You can say the N-word. You can be transphobic. You can be homophobic. But the minute you do anything yourself, you get tagged for speaking out against it, and you get silenced. That's what I mean. Is the fact that with the AI, it just gets to choose whether or not you're allowed to walk free or not. The AI, and okay, that's another thing. AI moderation is a whole other can of worms that I probably will get into in my Roblox AI moderation video, and why I don't like AI moderation. But AI moderation also sucks. Like, I'm sorry. Like, this whole tangent is just me yapping. So, you can skip ahead. I mean, you probably did skip ahead because I put a thing at the, other part of the video where you have to skip ahead because I mentioned these type of topics. But, I'll put it right here. But, like, it baffles me how the fact that AI moderation is just a thing. And it sucks. Because, like, with Twitter AI moderation, that does nothing. It does nothing. It does nothing. Do you know how many racist people on Instagram and Twitter combined? Like, it's like Gojo and Sakuna. It's like, the most racist app of today versus the most racist app in all of history. Like, oh my god, dude. Like, okay, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. And the entire thing with Twitter made me so angry. I left Twitter a long time ago. Because the fact that, one, you can change any person can change your post, making any hate speech on it without being warned. And also the fact that you could just make a legal substance on Twitter and get away with it. You didn't get punished. And I get the whole free speech thing, but it comes to a point where, like, we need to draw the line, okay? Just because it's free speech doesn't mean you can make illegal shit, dude. Like, I hope the people who made that were suspended. Though, knowing the owner of the app, they probably weren't. It's just, overall, just a shitty time, and I can't believe it, honestly. It's just, it is a whole can of worms that I don't want to get into, but I showed today why AI is bad. I've shown why, overall, the substance that we consume on it is bad, and how Twitter is just a cesspool of AI content. I didn't even scratch Facebook, by the way. I'm not going near Facebook, because one, it's an old people app, and I'm not old yet, hopefully. And two, the fact that Facebook, oh my god, dude, okay. This is the other side tension here, which is, this video is just me yapping, honestly. But, with Facebook,
I can see in the future a lot of people getting scammed. Hell, even me, honestly. Because with Facebook, right? It's just like, it's so easy to get scammed. I'm not even gonna hold you. It's so easy to get scammed nowadays. So I can imagine in the future, some people are gonna fall for AI scams, which they kind of have. No, they kind of have. Like, that could be a whole other section where, because remember that one millionaire thing, the millionaire show thing that happened? I think Morse Critical made a video on it. But it was where, like, this guy was making a scam, and it turned out to be a bunch of AI, and a bunch of creators got tricked and stuff. So, I don't know. Overall, AI sucks. I hate AI. Twitter is the reason why I left, and AI is a disease as a whole, and we need to get rid of it now! I want to get rid of it now!
What do you call these friend monkeys?
My final thoughts on this entire thing is just AI art isn't going anywhere. However, I'm very well aware that is a bubble. It's like the .com bubble, where back then a bunch of companies were using .com, but then that popped, and people stopped using it. It's the same thing with AI. We're getting closer to the point where AI is just being oversaturated and it's all over the place, where we're going back in a circle where we just want to have actual art. What I mean by this is Sora AI got cancelled, and Sora AI got basically shut down. That is what I'm saying, is the fact that all of this bubble crap that's happening right now with all the AI stuff. For example, there was literally a Samsung fridge that had AI on it. Tell me why an Samsung fridge needs AI. Exactly. There's no reason for it to have AI on it. That's what I mean. People and companies are just adding AI like a bubble onto things that should not be added onto. And eventually that bubble will pop, and it's been shown time and time again that what comes up must come down. So all the stuff you're seeing right now, it's just a byproduct of what's happening. For example, the non-fundable tokens that you saw back then in the day, when those were a huge thing, how people said, oh, this is going to replace money, this is going to be a non-fundable token that will replace currency that we could trade, and it'd be one kind of a thing that everyone could see. When it was kind of dumb to begin with to think that art pieces were going to, replace currency, because you have to imagine that, like, you have to make a constant supply of them over and over and over again in order for it to, like, actually be fundable. And everyone knows that that would be kind of stupid to have, like, to trade pictures that are worth money for, like, actual currency. Because, like, imagine if you're at a store and you need to buy something and you buy it with a non-fundable token, aka an NFT, which would make no sense because you're buying, like, a hamburger for a 4,000 art piece. Like, that wouldn't make no sense because you also have to take in cash some money. I'm getting off topic. Back when AI was first introduced, I myself was a 16-year-old kid. Time flies by, huh? It's crazy that it's already 2026. It's crazy how time flies. But back then, when AI was first introduced, I myself was like, oh, this is such a cool thing, because I was a dumb kid, and obviously I was going through some stuff, but I, was like, oh, well, this is a cool product, I want to see what it did. So, as any kid did, I put my own drawings into the AI because I wanted to see what it would do. And it made some detailed pieces, I won't hold you. However, there's a small part of me that was like, this is kind of not good. What I mean by that is I skipped an entire process of drawing. What I did was I put my own art into such a machine, and it ate it and it made something new. But it didn't feel right to me. Like, when you're making food for yourself, you feel accomplished. You feel like you did something. But when you make, like, AI stuff, it just doesn't feel the same, really. That's what I'm trying to get at here, is the fact that when I did that, when I made that art piece, and I put it into AI, and I got something new, it felt like I was just recycling something. And I'm aware artists do that too. Like, artists can recycle their art pieces, that's nothing new. But when I did that, it felt like I was just skipping a bunch of processes. I was skipping a whole entire section of just doing the work. And that's what I mean, and it's what I'm going to get into. It's laziness. You see, all these people are afraid of being replaced by AI. Sure, it can happen, maybe. But I don't want to fearmonger. I've shown throughout this entire video that AI does not understand human emotions, and AI does not understand human compassion, and AI does not understand the human mind. That's what I want to get at. You and I understand human emotions. You and I know how to draw. You and I know how to make stuff, know how to make a painting, know how to make a drawing. We know how to make these things. We struggle, but we survive. That is what makes us human. And that is why I don't like AI. AI is not human. It does not understand our emotions. It has shown many times before that it just tells people to die. It tells people that it's not worth it. It has shown many times that it makes bad stuff. It has made many times of illegal substances of people without any consent. It is stealing from people. It has changed people. It has warped people's minds. It's made people dumber. It's corrupt people's minds. That's not even getting into the fact that some companies or some even government agencies use AI memes or just memes in general to desensitize the human populace, which I won't get into that. That's a whole other separate can of worms. But that's basically, yeah, that's why AI is bad, because with other stuff, it could take a while to make that type of stuff. It may take days or even months. But with AI, it's just instant. That's why we see so many hate videos with AI. There's so many racist videos with AI. There's so many homophobic videos with AI. There was even our own president who used AI to quote-unquote own the libs, which that was crazy enough. I don't know. Our entire government is owned by a bunch of kids anyways. I got off track there. What I mean, and what I'm gonna say here right now, is I don't like AI. Which, such a shocking statement, I know. No, what? The person on the video who doesn't like AI, the video title that says why AI art is disease? Whoa, really? Who would have guessed? But no, seriously though, I don't like AI. It is lazy and it skips all the 5 steps I've mentioned before. It skips the process of the 5 steps, which number 1 being to figure out what you want to make, as in, okay, I'm gonna brainstorm what I want to draw. Do I want to draw Spider-Man? Do I want to draw Hulk? Do I want to draw Iron Man? Etc, etc. And then the step 2, figuring out how you're gonna draw said thing, because, you know, people struggle with drawing it, so they look up references. The step 3 is getting the drawing and figuring out what you want to make. So while step 1 was planning it out, step 2 was trying to find references to make it, step 3 is actually sketching it out. And at first, the drawing may not be what you want, but it'll be a drawing that you'll enjoy making throughout the entire thing. And step 4 is finally finishing the drawing and getting it done. And as you look at your drawing, which is step 5, you'll realize that, yeah, I enjoyed making this drawing. I enjoyed making this entire thing. And even, like, throughout this entire speed paint video, I've enjoyed making these speed paints. I'm not gonna lie. I enjoyed editing. I enjoyed looking up memes and looking up funny sound effects for this entire video. If I have done this video with using AI, I don't think I would have enjoyed making it. In fact, I would have just wanted it to end already. And what I mean by that is I would have used AI for the script and I wouldn't have felt motivated to do it. I'd have used AI for the visuals and I would not feel motivated to do it. I'd have used AI for the art and I would not feel motivated to do it. And it will boil down to me being lazy and not wanting to complete the entire product of what I'm trying to get. And that is why I don't like AI or artificial intelligence as a whole in general. I have shown throughout this video on why I don't like it. From the very beginning, where AI has used data centers and run our water dry, to it having the equivalent water consumption on par with water bottle companies as a whole last year, to it having a carbon footprint equivalent to New York City last year, to it also causing people to not be here with us anymore because it does not understand human emotion, to AI also allowing artists to skip just all the 5 steps I mentioned without struggling, to it also on Twitter allowing people to do unsavory acts to others without permission, to it also on Instagram allowing hate speech and other bigotry acts to run rampant without it being, you know, seen or heard. I don't like AI. It is something that is a disease and it hurts people. It actively hurts people, and I don't like anything that hurts people. And if it hurts people, it's something I don't like. However, with other artists that are afraid of the AI replace them, I would like to advise you to not listen to the fear mongering. Sure, I'm not dumb. I'm very well aware that the AI technically has replaced some artists in some industries. I'm not dumb. I know that. However, these people who have been quote unquote replaced, you know what they do? They get back up and they get back on their feet and they're determined. They're determined to show that machine that they are not going to be replaced. They aren't concerned about a machine replacing them. They aren't concerned about that machine telling them, you cannot become an artist. You cannot do this. You cannot be it. Because why would they be concerned about what a machine can tell them what to do? They aren't concerned about it. What they're concerned about and what you should be concerned about is something more important and something that is more, quite frankly, deadly than being replaced by AI. Is the concept of being lazy. The graveyard is filled with men who thought they had all the time in the world. So tell me, Why would you be concerned about a machine replacing you? What you should be concerned about is your laziness replacing you.